everybody, it's Paul from Screenwriting Scribe. Today we're going to talk to you about two updates for Socreate. The biggest update is the sharing feature, which I'll talk about as the second update. But first we'll talk about persona, sort of like a pen name. If you want to try to create a new persona, simply go to in the upper green, the little Socreate icon, click on that, say view your account. And then underneath that, you'll see Profile, Persona, Subscriptions, and Settings. Simply select Personas. And you can see I've already done a couple personas here already. We're going to go down to the example person. To add a persona, you simply have to go down and hit Add Persona. We'll take a look at one that I've done before. So let's take a look at this particular persona. You can add an example. I just put example person, so you put a first and last name, put an email or phone number, location wherever you're at, and what it'll do is it'll hold that example as a persona file for you, and that's going to be unique for who you are as a person. So no one else is going to be able to take example now. The next thing you can do is you can add an experience, so simply click onto experience. To add the experience, just click on the box, and you can write whether you were a writer, producer, whatever you were for whatever organization, wherever that was located, and what the start date was, as well as what you're describing your responsibilities. After that, you can also go to the bio and add whatever you want to use to describe yourself. So as you describe yourself, again, you have some limited ways to format that, but again, it helps people understand who you are as a creator. And one of the reasons why I use persona is sort of like a pen name. Let's say you're a person who wrote Borderlands and don't want people to know that you wrote that particular piece. You could submit that type of script under a pen name or a persona, so people don't associate that writing with what you normally write. Or it could be something on the complete opposite end, where you maybe do a lot of romantic type of screenplays and stuff like that, and suddenly you want to write a science fiction screenplay, and so you don't want people to associate what you've previously done with a different work as well too, so that way they sort of have fresh eyes on that. This is another way to do that. The next thing we're going to do is talk about how to get more feedback on your script. So the next thing we're going to look at is one of the most important things that screenwriters need is feedback. And how do you know that the person that you sent it to actually read what you had? Now, if you use Socreate, you have a way to know where they sort of lingered at, where their feedback is at, and you can send this to anybody in the world which I think is pretty cool. So if you want to share your screenplay with somebody, simply get into your screenplay. You're going to hit the share button, which is right next to support and the dashboard. So you just left click on that. You can request feedback. You can view feedback, you can add collaborators, or you can view in Storyteller, which was something else that we'll talk about later on in a different video. So to request feedback, you simply go to request. Now you can collect people that if you already have, I have a dummy account that I use for this particular thing. It's called Paul and Me. And so I'll be sending it to that. But you can also search for folks, and you can also type in what type of feedback you're looking for. Is this a conflict between the character John and Kelly? Obvious. Here, if you want to add a recipient, you simply click on the arrow. So you just need to type in the first and the last name, as well as the email address, and this will get the comment straight to them. So the next thing you're going to do is simply, so as we think of this, we just go to the next step, or you type in whatever you want to talk about. Say, so in order to go to the next step, you need to tell them if there's a particular feedback direction. You can also put nothing in there as well too. And I would type in nothing, just general feedback, and you can go to next. And then after that, it'll tell you who you're getting your feedback from. It'll tell you based on what story. If you want to enable reactions. If you don't want any reactions enabled, simply click on the button. You can take it off. Or if you want to enable comments, maybe you just want reactions. There's little stickers on the feedback, which we'll look at when we go to the feedback section. Nice things you can allow access for a certain time of days. It's just in hours, months, weeks. I think the longest you can do never expires, and so you can also do a custom date as well too. So for story privacy, so anybody can give you feedback, or you can also protect your screenplay by putting in a password, and then you'll be able to, once you get this filled out, you can send your email out. And so let's take a look at what that email will look like for the folks that actually get this request. So this is what the email looks like from the person who will be getting that feedback request. It simply says, I'm seeking your feedback on my latest movie script and would greatly appreciate your thoughts. The process is simple. Just click the link below to leave comments directly on the script. It works on your phone or computer. They simply click the link and it'll take them to the script, and they'll be able to start looking through it and giving you feedback. So let's take a look at that section next. So now I'm acting as the person that's going through the file. So I have the file here and I can look at it. I can tell instantly, I can just do love it or reconsider it. I can do reconsider, and then there's a bunch of different emojis that I need. I could say it's too obvious. I can say struggle to believe. It'll get confusing. There's a bunch of different things that you can do to just put an emoji next to it. You can also put comments directly on there by just clicking the comment box, and you can write, enter a comment. I could say, this wasn't clear, period. And then when you're done with your feedback, you simply hit the finish feedback feature. So let's take a look and take a look at what that looks like back on the opposite end of the person who sent that to us. Let's take a look at that really quickly. So if I'm the person who if I want to know, maybe there's been some feedback already, so I'd like to go to do that. So I'm in the script as the person who sent the script. I simply go to the sharing feature, view feedback, and I just select on the script, and it'll pull me into that script. Now here's the interesting thing. There's some different ways we can look at it. We can look at it from the story view, which is sort of what the view is right now. We can look at the script view, which is your traditional screenwriting view, or we can look at the stats. So as the writer coming back, I can look at a couple of different things. I can see how long they spent on time. I can see which pages they spent the most on. So if it's on scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, did they not get all the way through? I can also click on the reactions that they had, those emojis they put, or if they put some type of comments, I can also click on those as well too. I don't think it's working as good for me right now because I had to use a private link to get it through. And so generally, like I said, you're going to be able to see these reactions here and also these comments here and there. The other thing too is you can also always look at the script view, or in my case, the story view. You can go down and look and see it does have it highlighted, that they put an emoji on here. So you can go back through and look, not just on the stat screen, but also on the script view. And if there's any other comments and stuff like that, you'll be able to see that as well too. You can also add your own comments on there as well. So those are the two big updates. Like I said, I think having somebody able to get feedback directly on your script and to be able to see how well they track through the script is a very important feature that Socreate's added. How are you going to use that to help with your writing? Also, personas. Do you think of adding a persona? Do you need to have a pen name for your stuff? Well, let me know what you think about this video. Leave it in the comment section below. Until the next video, live well and write well.